Good evening, all. The meeting is called to order at 7:05 p.m. on Thursday, June the 18th, 2025. This is the Traffic and Transportation meeting for Community Board 8. And I want to start by thanking my committee members who've been faithful for the last year and a half. And I am the outgoing chair, and this is my last meeting as the Traffic and Transportation Chair. And I also would like to thank the board office. I would also like to thank community members who have engaged with us, and also DOT, MTA, and Con Edison also, even though it's been difficult and trying, but we want to continue to engage our government, our local officials, and also the different agencies that make Community Board 8 and a great place to live, and to have people to continue to thrive and to look at what Community Board 8 is going to look like in the future. But you do need the input of the public for things to work and for businesses to also be able to thrive. So that being said, let's move on to the roll call. Debbie Allen is present.
Margaret Della present.
Bob Bender present.
Sylvia?
Yes, I'm present.
Thank you. For now, we have Ingrid De Leon as absent, and also at this point, Deborah House. We do have a quorum for the meeting because we have a total of 4 members here. I would like to move along to the approval of the committee minutes from May 14th, 2026. Any questions about the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
Anybody abstaining from the minutes or opposed to the minutes? With nothing else being said, it has been moved
And approved.
and approved. So I wanted to just amend the amended minutes, since we have the battalion chief here present, here with us. And I also have, I see the safety, the chair of safety also on. So I just wanted to talk about the FDNY concerns regarding DOT and Sedgwick Avenue bike lane proposal and the project. And just for the minutes, if the battalion, if he could state his name and just give us a little brief overview.
Okay. Liam Donnelly, Battalion 27. This proposal affects multiple fire companies and battalions. This would be at the far end of my response area, which Battalion 19. It affects, and in particular, Engine 43, Ladder 59, Engine 81, and Ladder 46. In general, bike lanes, affect our operations in laddering buildings. The further they push us away from the building, the further those ladders are. We just can't reach the top floor on them. That's happened in multiple areas. But this specific proposal to make Sedgwick Avenue a one-way southbound is going to cause an issue, and I want to say that we're opposed to it in the interest of safety. And I'll be brief. I'll just read. So we utilize Sedgwick as one of our main north to south response areas, and the proposal to make Sedgwick one way from Fordham to West 183 affects our response patterns and response times, which we won't know until after they're in. The proposal to use Cedar Avenue, West 183 or Loring to University will we just can't fit some of the rigs down those. They're narrow, they're winding, and if that's 2 ways and we encounter double parked cars or a truck, we just won't be able to get through. The distance increase in some cases is well over a half a mile, which is obviously, we won't notice till afterwards, but I can tell you a half a mile, through double parked cars and traffic is going to add time to our response. Potentially minutes, and again, we won't know until after we're in. I had the distances in this one, I can't find it here, sorry.
Take your time.
I'm looking at the minutes and it says, using University Avenue to Fordham Road would add 2 to 3 minutes to response times for engine 43 and ladder 59.
Again, you know, we could throw out times, I can't say for sure how much time it would add, I can just tell you if it's a longer distance, it's clearly it's gonna add more time, you know? And if that's a main route, it's a wider road than a narrow winding road, it's gonna cost significantly more. It'd be hard for us to know, we don't really, we have a system now, that we can input where we can track and quantify those, hey, this bike lane or this one-way street caused this much of a delay. We currently don't have that, so we rely on the local companies to say that's just not a possible thing. It's gonna cause major issues. And in this case, the captain of 59 truck is, you know, voiced his concern to 7, Community Board 5, and now 8. Just wants to make it clear that, you know, we're opposed to this because of the time frame and it's gonna cost the public safety. You know, we could talk about fire growth and like, you know, typical fire will grow, double in size every 45 seconds, so 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes is, you know, when on a job where, you know, seconds and minutes matter, it's just unacceptable for us, so clearly we're gonna be opposed to this. I don't think it's not in the benefit of public safety from our perspective.
And have you had any communication with the DOT?
Individual, I have, no, generally it's.
Because we sent,
Yeah.
you know, actually, information to the DOT about the concern, and I was hoping, Ms. Cruz would have been on the call. She's not, she didn't accept our invitation to the best of my knowledge, but, you know, I'm concerned. Skyview, 5900 had a fire 3 weeks ago. And I live in Skyview, and I can tell you the rig that they used to try to get to that high rise, it was a lot, and that was with, you know, going up the side of the building. I personally have been in 2 fires in my lifetime. I lived at 615 Crown Street in Brooklyn. We got burned out. 5900 was a flashback. It was a problem. The pull box at Arlington and Independence Avenue was not working for whatever reason. And you know the fire company made it there. There was no casualties. 6 people got injured. But I think that we really need to take in consideration first responders' knowledge and first responders that need to respond to people in need, and not just focus on, you know, we're anti-bike lane. I'm not anti-bike lane. I'm anti a process that doesn't take in consideration the safety of others and don't take in consideration, you know, the outcomes of people's lives. And it may not necessarily, they may not be responding to a fire, they could be responding to a cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things happen that are out of our control, and sometimes things that are within our control, I think we need to really take heart of what is being done. I'm not against bikes, but I'm against things that will negatively impact the public, not just me personally, but my friends, my neighbors, and my community. And I feel as chair, I take it seriously, people's safety. And I know that Ed Green, who's the safety person, he chairs that committee, we both take it seriously. So that's why we joined together, because it's a combination of needing DOT to be able to respect what is being said, and also, you know, for the fire department to know that we're supporting that. We want to make sure that people are safe. We've had an increase of fires in the Bronx in general. The percentage is way more than it was last year. I believe that New York 12 did a a study and they claim, I don't want to misquote, but it's greater than 50% than last year fires.
It's, and so it is unique too, when we look at emergency response vehicles and, we're not driving, small SUVs, there's 100-foot area, 95-foot tower ladder, they need room to be able to maneuver.
Correct, make a turn.
Double park cars. So here's some of the notes that I was actually looking for before. So we talk about the specific block, Cedric between, Fordham Road between and 180 Street, 183. DOT proposes making it a one-way. It has 8 large 6-story MDs and 13 smaller MDs. Right? So current response to the
Say that
middle
again?
has 8 large 6-story multiple dwellings,
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's
means-
an MD.
13 smaller multiple dwellings and private dwellings.
Okay,
Current response to the middle block is 0.6 of a mile. It's about 1 to 2 minutes, right? I'm just talking specifically about engine 43, ladder 59, right? The future response to the middle of this block will be 1.4 miles, right? So what do we encounter over 1.4 miles? A double parked car, a truck that's stuck in a corner, cars that can't yield now because there is no room for them to yield, trying to get out of our way. So potentially time increase on that could be, minutes. Even if we look at these companies, 4359, they overlap in multiple jurisdictions. Like we respond into Manhattan, right? We respond on the Major D. That company alone does 300 plus accidents on the Major D, not counting the other companies, 8146, 9536 that are over in Inwood. But even using like that thoroughfare to get across into Manhattan will be impacted. So it will affect multiple communities. If we make this road pretty much impassable. If we look at, actually, we call like our response area a box. Like there's upwards of 50 of them that are going to be affected. And that's those 50 boxes will cover a square area, very big. So and multiple companies. I'm looking at it's three battalions, which is an area on fire department and multiple firehouses. It's just I think it'll be really tough for us to operate, in a timely fashion, public safety run. Let alone like the bike lanes in general sometimes cause us difficulty in getting access to the building. Like I said before, to be able to raise it, we need an ambulance. The further you push a 100-foot ladder away from the building, it just can't reach the above floors. So, okay, that's and again, any question? I think what happens normally, and this is just me, it's like the DOT sends us an email with a proposal, and that's just a box check if we were notified. Now, how we object to it, well, that's through the inner workings of the fire department, going to community board meetings, but we have been notified of the change, but we're not specifically in conversation. The firehouses downtown does have conversations with DOT concerning both. I don't know where that is at this point. Just want to say locally, from the local firehouses that are here, we'll oppose to it because obviously we're going to be most knowledgeable about how that's going to affect our response area, and that this would impact it.
So any commission members?
I have a few questions. So you said that you're not aware of any communication from DOT to FDNY, any response?
There's no response. We do get the email with the proposal, and like I said, I think that's the box check that we were notified.
Right, no, I
And then,
understand that.
Now, I know downtown, which I'm not privy to, there are conversations with the department track.
Right.
So,
Exactly. We have a copy of a letter from Kevin Woods, Chief of Operations,
yes.
to an assistant, to the first deputy commissioner of DOT, expressing what you've just expressed, concerns about safety issues that would arise from this reconfiguration of the streets. But so far as you know, at this point, you're not aware of any
No.
response. Okay. All right. The other question, one other question I wanted to ask was, the area in question is mostly not in Community Board 8, but in Community Board 7, just to the south of us. Are you aware of, and there was a presentation made by the FDNY to Community Board 7,
Yes.
which essentially visualized what you've just articulated. Are you aware of where Community Board 7 came out on this, what their response was to this information?
Just via email chains that they were, again, similar to you, surprised that there was no back and forth conversation between the local firehouses and DOT. But
Yeah.
they weren't aware initially that we opposed the project.
Yeah. I mean, speaking for myself, and Debbie, I've emailed you, you know where I am on this. I mean, this is obviously a serious issue. This is a serious safety issue. I'm just, I'm concerned, I'll cut to the chase. I feel it's premature for resolution at this point. I think we need a lot more information. I don't understand why, because of the serious nature of this, DOT has not responded, and we're not aware of DOT's response. And I want to know what it is. I mean, clearly, you make a persuasive case here that, there'll be additional time for responding to fire emergency or whatever the emergency is. And I would expect that DOT would say, all right, there's a way we can deal with this or something. I mean, for them to just say, well, that's the way it is, would be
Well, I
unacceptable.
don't know if that.
No, I don't know either, right, but what I'm saying is, in the absence of communication between DOT and FDNY, I think it's premature for us to go ahead, except to say, clearly, this is a serious issue and we're concerned about it.
Well, the good thing on our end is that email you were referencing from Chief Woods was Chief Operations.
Right.
How as it gets in the field, it's Chief Department and Chief Operations, so they're aware of it.
Yeah.
They're having some sort of communication with DOT. I'm not.
Right, no, I understand that. And, the other issue here is, I mean, we're the community board and we're the lowest level of city government. But where are the elected officials on this? I mean, this is, where's the local council member on this issue? Seems to me that the local council member would be deeply involved in this safety issue. Or the assemblyman or the state senator, the borough president, I want to know, what's going on. And, you raised a serious issue. It deserves a serious response and a timely response. And I want to know where things are with city officials and government officials.
Up to the walls.
I'm sure you would, absolutely.
Well,
We all want to know.
Well, I feel this way. I look at how they've addressed the Broadway corridor and the different things within our community that Scree has done.
Mhm.
And we've talked, we've emailed, we've walked through, we've done all sorts of things. And I don't want to sound dramatic, but for lack of a better word, they really haven't, people really haven't picked up the ball and say, okay, we're gonna straighten this out.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's a lot of who shot John, I forgot I should say that, no pun intended, but there isn't an engagement to say, we're gonna rectify this, MTA, DOT, XYZ, get this stuff taken care of. It's
Mhm.
all this, you're running, catching your tail.
Yeah.
So I feel that this is the only way for people to respond is by having a resolution, being clear on what the issues are, and they need to put it back in writing. Waiting for people to email us back, I'm just telling you, Bob, it doesn't work.
Mhm.
Being nice doesn't work. Resolutions is the only way to push different departments, DOT, MTA, to do the right thing.
Mhm.
Case in point, there, Riverdale train station, they didn't even have the decency to say to the office, okay, we're doing this. I have to get an email.
Mhm.
So, I mean, these are the different things, I feel very strong, you have your opinion, but,
Mhm.
let's, move on. So, Mark, you have anything you'd like to say?
No, I think you all captured it. The one thing I will say is that a staff member from Councilmember Sanchez's office was at Public Safety on Tuesday night. I'm also on that committee. And I'm sure the chair can get into our conversation a little bit more, but that, to my knowledge, that's the only elected official's office that I've seen engaged on this.
See, just one last remark. I think this is an issue that the elected officials have to resolve. It's important and that's higher level than the community board,
Correct.
and that's where it needs to be resolved. Whether it's the council member or the borough president or whoever it is, the elected officials have to get in there and say, now, wait a second, FDNY has put on the table a genuine concern about a safety issue. What's the answer?
Well, we're not resolving it, we're just putting notice
I understand.
that that we don't find it acceptable.
All right.
That's, to me, that's the difference. So I know, Ed Green, your hand has been up. And
I'm just listening. You guys are doing great here. I don't think I can run through this as eloquently as you guys just all did. So there's a lot of stuff. It's a very dense resolution. We have a lot of therefore be it resolved. There's a lot of stuff in it. There's a statement of rationale at the end that kind of summarizes it well. I just want to say a couple of things, and Bob did bring up some good points that elected officials really need to get involved, and DOT as well. But I just think that no response from DOT speaks volumes, and it's not something we're not used to. So, based on their track record with our community and particularly, I don't think they deserve the benefit of the doubt on this. This resolution, in my eyes, would help give them the motivation they need to perhaps give us a comprehensive response, as well as the elected officials, to put them on notice that this is a serious issue. When the fire department thinks it's a serious issue, we take them at their word. So I just wanted to say a couple of things about the resolution also. Just this is more procedural than anything. And Margaret is a member of our public safety committee. And I'm not sure you're even aware of this, Margaret, but I made probably the worst mistake I've ever made as a chair at that meeting. And I'm actually a little embarrassed for it. But I just wanted to clear the air with this. So we brought this resolution to our committee, but we did not vote because we didn't have a quorum, or so we thought. But the bottom line is we did have a quorum, Margaret, because one of our committee members is a community committee member, and that escaped me, so we weren't able to vote on this. However, the five of us did unanimously consent to, without voting, to approve of this resolution. So, as embarrassing as it is for me for not catching that, it's still just a procedural thing that we could, pass this resolution at this TNT committee and or bring it from the floor of the full board, which I'd rather not do. I mean, really, this should come out of committee. I feel bad that it didn't come out of the public safety as well. And then it goes to the procedural matter of, is this actually a joint resolution? But again, that a lot of this is just details. My main concern is putting the word out that the FDMY has serious concerns about this, and these issues need to be raised with the proper elected officials, with DOT, with whoever's willing to listen. And it's kind of mind-boggling to me that all this construction work would be done all over the place to not really have any type of idea of what type of ramifications it would have on public safety. And it's not just, I heard mentioned this was first brought to our attention as being a threat to rescues because of the leg stabilizers that the fire trucks need, the apparatus and the concrete barriers made it less safe, and the ladders were going at angles they shouldn't be going at, which were endangering the rescuers and the rescuees. Liam, that's correct, right?
Yes, if you're speaking about the outriggers on the aerial and tower ladders,
Correct.
generally need 3 to 6 feet clearance, and again, if there's a concrete barrier, it would push us 3 to 6 feet further away from the building, and it would be adding more distance for our ladders to reach. Correct.
Right. So that's what.
Especially when the building's on grade.
Right. That issue is concerning enough for me, but the fact that some of this work may be affecting response times, that's the big issue, the biggest issue here, because that's they're both potentially life-altering, issues, but response times, I mean, you guys are coming out of the firehouse all the time. If this is going to affect every trip you make, then we have a serious problem, and this stuff really needs to be examined, re-examined, and it sounds to me like this is going to be a process. Hopefully the right people will get wind of this, start doing something about it, and then where do we go from there? I don't know. Our Public Safety Committee is definitely going to be monitoring this on a monthly basis, and I'm going to be monitoring this even in the summer break. So this is not going away. Sending out a resolution to me is just the first step of, giving, ringing the alarm bell. How is this done without any oversight, basically, without knowing what this was going to cause. So that's all I'll say on this for now. Thank you for hearing me, and looking forward to working with FDNY next year as well.
Is there anybody from the community that has a question about this joint resolution with the fire department concerns and DOT in Sedgwick Avenue? Is there any questions for the fire department? Any general questions? Sylvia, do you have any questions?
No, I'm all for the resolution. I think that they have to hear from us.
Are we ready for a vote?
Deb, sorry, I have one very, very important thing that I forgot to mention. So at our meeting, the one that we didn't vote on, I proposed one minor change to the resolution. So if you and I'm going to ask Liam about this too, because I think it's important. So it's in the third, therefore be it resolved clause. So it says, therefore be it further resolved, Bronx Community Board 8 requests that FDNY, and here's where I want the change, comma, I want to put with consultation from local battalions, comma, and then because one of the things, Liam, I don't know if you can even speak to this, but one of the concerns we had was that the top brass, so to speak, was just signing off on some of these DOT things without getting any input from their local battalions and the people who are actually affected by it. So that was just a concern of ours. So we wanted to put that in just so that FDNY recognizes that the local battalions might be more knowledgeable than the top brass when it comes to certain issues within their own streets.
With local.
Oh, so it would be request that FDNY, comma, with consultation from local battalions, comma.
I think that typically does happen, is the local battalions will be asked to hold their units to see if we have any opposition to any proposed plans. I don't think there's any decisions being made without consultation with the battalions.
Okay. I'd still like to add it if Deb, if you're okay with that.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Okay. Are we ready for a vote?
Mhm.
Make a motion. Do we have to make a motion?
Yes.
Mhm.
Do you need me to vote for you? Okay, we have Margaret. Are we ready for the vote?
Mhm.
To, for this joint resolution with traffic and transportation via the concerns of FDNY and DOT Bailey Avenue, Sedgwick Avenue bike lane proposal, bike protected lane barriers that impacts on emergency response times. I'm not gonna read the whole resolution, but that's the title of it. Anybody against the resolution? Anybody that abstains from the resolution?
I'm abstaining for the reasons I've already articulated.
Abstention. Sylvia, you're for it.
Alright,
Okay, I'm for it. Margaret's for it. These two people are absent. It carries.
Mhm. Yes.
3 people? Yes.
Yep.
Okay. The resolution passes.
Thank you for
Thank you
being
for
here.
listening to me, and please reach out to, any questions, reach out to me and I'll get back to you soon.
Okay, thanks.
Have a nice night.
Thank you for taking the time to come in and talk to us.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
And do you like to, question? Okay. I wanted to know if the resolution being sent to, DOT also?
Yes.
Yeah, because I want them to see it
Oh,
also.
absolutely. Yes. Okay, alrighty. Thank you. So we're going to go to the SAPO applications. Is there,
I'm here for a reason. Can I ask questions now?
not yet.
Okay.
Next on, we're going next to the SAPO applications. Yeah, because she's only fine. The community recycling event, small street event, are they on? Is there a representative?
Yes, hi.
Hi, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kendall Coleman with the Lower East Side Ecology Center, and we're planning to host a community recycling event on Riverdale Avenue on Sunday, August 2nd. And yeah, I'm here to answer any questions you all might have. We put in a SAPO application on Riverdale Ave between 259th Street and 260th Street.
I'm sorry, let's be clear with the date of the event.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. So we had to amend the date. Originally we applied and it was August 8th, but it's actually scheduled for August 2nd, Sunday, August 2nd.
August 2nd.
Yes, ma'am.
August.
Right. It's a Sunday, not a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's between what two streets?
It's between West 259th Street and West 260th Street.
Okay, and this is the first time you're doing this event.
It's the first time recently, yes. I believe we've done an event in Riverdale before, but it's been a few years.
And the time you're having the event is specifically on your application, because it's saying it's from 9 AM to 3 PM.
Yes, so the time we get there at 9 AM to set up and give about an hour to wrap up. So we'll be officially out of there by 3 PM, but the event runs from 10 to 2 PM.
Okay, are you gonna be blocking the street?
We'll be in the curb lane, so we won't be blocking the street at all. And we won't be obscuring the bike lane much at all. We'll have some cones set up alongside the curb.
There is no bike lane on Riverdale Avenue between.
Oh, there's not?
259th and 260th.
It's,
I mean, there's that little.
Yeah,
stripe there.
that's-
Right, okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
I
that's-
suppose that's a bike.
that's a
lane.
bike lane.
Yes,
It's a
I'm sorry.
protected bike lane.
Yeah.
So have you met with the police department to block off parking on the street exactly? And
We haven't
communicating to, the local businesses?
We haven't met with the police department yet. We're going to get into contact with the community affairs officer at the local precinct to talk about obtaining no parking signs and what that process would look like to block that off. And to get in contact with local businesses, to my understanding, the Craft and Cravings farmers market also happens in that same area on Sunday. So we've been in contact with some folks from there who are going to help spread the word. And we publicize this event. So we've also been talking to Farah from Community Board 8, who has said that she'd help us get the word out a bit.
Okay. Because my concern is parking is on the street and, things of that sort, because there's, near the post office, there's church over there, so.
Right. Yes, I understand the post office is over there. We'll be closer to 260th Street. I guess more so in front of the school that's over there. So we won't allow people to park in that area, but what we'll do is we'll block the area off and have a lane of sorts where people who are bringing items from their home in a car can drive through the lane, drop off their items. And I guess and how everything is blocked off, we'll need about 100 linear feet of space to kind of stage the setup and allow cars to pull through.
Yeah, I just have a question. I mean, first of all, I love the idea. Because I've got, so many old electronics that have been sitting around and we've been trying to figure out what to do with them. So I am just thrilled that you're coming to the community. However, there are a couple of complications here.
Mhm.
You're going to be on the east side, which is the northbound side as far as traffic is concerned. There is a bus stop on the corner of West 259th Street and Riverdale Avenue. So you need to contact the MTA as well as the NYPD. Unless you're going to leave that bus stop absolutely untouched and you're just going to be working further up on Riverdale Avenue closer to 260th and not affecting the bus stop. But your SAPO application says the whole block from 259th to 260th. And as I'm saying, that includes a bus stop. So that's a big complication.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. We don't intend to block the bus stop at all, and we'll be closer to West 260th Street. When we put in the applications, I guess it blocks off the whole block, but we only need about 100 linear feet, and that's about the length of 8 cars.
Okay. All right. So well, that would be good then, because if you get involved in the bus stop, that adds a whole layer of complication.
Oh yeah.
The market that you mentioned actually takes place off the street. It's in the St. Margaret's playground. So it's not on the street. So it's not a comparison. It's not a relevant comparison to what you're doing. But having said all that, I love the idea of it. And as long as the NYPD has no objections, I'm fine with it.
Margaret, any questions? Sylvia, do you have any questions about the community recycling event? Anybody from the community have any questions about the recycling event? That's just a hand for.
Well, there's
Okay, there's a hand.
There was a hand, but it, no.
there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, she or he seems to be.
Ms.
unmuted.
Fishman?
Hi, can you hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, thank you, Kendall, for coming out. Yes, I'm old friends with the originators of this pickup service, the East Side, Lower East Side Ecology Center. And I did let them know, because I saw that they were at another farmer's market. I let them know that we could have one here. The last time they were up, it was down at 242nd Street and Broadway on the far side next to Van Cortlandt Park. And they came a couple of times to that area. And then it has been a while, well before COVID, I would say, So this is great. Thank you very much.
Of course, yeah.
Is there anybody else from the community that wants to express themselves about this event? Okay, look like there is not.
We should get an amended SAPO with a changed date.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everybody says there's a problem with SAPO and yeah.
To my understanding, I'm looking at the permit now, and it's been amended in the portal.
In the portal?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll ask Farah, our district manager, to see if she can just pull that out.
Okay, great.
But the time is correct. So it's August 2nd from
Yes.
9 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. I have no other questions. Sylvia, you have no questions?
No, what is the August 2nd to fall on? I know the
Sunday.
8th was a Saturday.
It's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday, okay.
Okay. All right, so we ready to vote? Is there any abstentions? Any opposed? So it passes. So,
But this is contingent on the NYPD not having any objections.
correct.
Because the speaker said they have not yet heard back from the NYPD. I mean, I can't think of any, but. you
Yeah.
know, Okay,
So the resolution be contingent on Ms. Coleman notifying NYPD, making sure there's no issues. So they can help you with signage, so people in the community are aware of the event
Yeah, that sounds good.
and the business.
Once, yeah, that's perfect.
And also there should be an area where emergency vehicles can go through.
well, Sylvia, this is Riverdale Avenue, Sylvia, and they're only taking the curb
We're
lane.
gonna take the curb lane.
Yeah. those-
Yeah. Okay, so we'll present this at our full board meeting in June.
Right.
29th,
Fourth.
24th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
June 24th.
Wednesday.
I better get moving. Okay.
All right, thank you guys.
I better get moving.
I better get moving. All right, thank you, Ms. Coleman. Okay.
Thank you guys.
All right, and you'll hear from the office.
Great.
Okay, is TLC application and renewal? Is veteran radio dispatcher present? Anybody from the Veterans Radio Dispatcher, 131st Street, West Kingsbridge Road? TLC, are they present?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone's.
Hi,
Hear me?
Can you please state your full name, please?
Yes, my name is Kenia Taveras.
Could you
I'm
spell your name,
representative. I'm sorry?
please? Could you spell your name, please?
Yes, it's Kenia Taveras. T as in Thomas, AV as in Victor, ERAS.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, I'm representative right now to renewal our license to TLC from Veterans Radio Dispatcher. And also we apply because our community is increased our service for a long time ago, and we still be increase our new transportation by Blessing Car Service. That's a black car that we still be apply for do transportation and provide safe and reliable and professional transportation service for individuals attending medical appointments, treatments, and essentials healthcare service.
Firstly, I don't have any questions. Do you have any questions?
I do have one. So, because the way our agenda reads, these seem like, two different applications, and I guess they are, but you're saying that Blessing Car Service is also part of your operation, Veterans Car Service, is that correct?
Yes, Veteran is our livery car service for cash service individuals, but Blessing Car Service, that's for medical appointment, no emergency appointment. So that's two new ones. Veterans is for renewal that we have to apply to renew our license. That is still be present to since 2015, and now our new Blessing Car Service is for black car, doing extending our transportation for seniors person.
Okay, so in actuality, you need two separate letters of support or one?
Can be two, please, separately, because that's renewal and apply new one. And it's Blessing Car Service LLC, no new Blessing,
Okay.
please. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's two separate ones, got it, okay.
Thank you.
All right, I don't think we had any issues with the police department. I don't have any information of police department issues or tickets, speeding tickets. Have you had any issues, Ms. Tavares?
No issues right now. We are still be now to increase our employer opportunities to the community. Any issues right now? We are now extending.
And no issues with double parking on the street, causing problems with your neighbors?
Well, sometimes yes. For the new regulations to the bus, now our drivers got a lead of issues because when they still be always parking in front of the base, when we got like a parking meter in front of our base, sometimes it's more comfortable to the drivers, but they still be following the new regulations right now for the bus.
Margaret, do you have any questions? Oh, no. Sylvia, do you have any questions about? Okay, so we're gonna there are gonna be two separate resolutions, but we're gonna vote for them together, just for the sake of time. So we're voting on TLC application for Blessings Car Service LLC and also the renewal of Veterans Radio Dispatcher base.
Correct. Thank you.
Okay, so the first motion. Is there any other questions? No. Is there anybody opposed to the two applications? No. Anybody wants to abstain for the two applications? So the motion to approve. So Ms. Tavares, we're gonna bring forth your, a letter of support.
Yes. Thank you.
And, also the resolution to be brought before the community board at their next board meeting on June 24th.
Thank you so much. I'm appreciated.
Thank you for showing up. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for your service.
Yes, thank you so much. We got to get more for around the area also. We still be focused to that service.
All right. I hate to jump around, but I do see MTA here. I'm gonna go to MTA.
You may hate it, but I do appreciate it.
I'm trying to keep things moving, believe it or not, my own way. This is the last time I'm sharing this, so I'm gonna, but I want to keep it moving. So
You sound so happy.
oh yeah. So I just want to thank Metro North MTA for short notice for appearing before the community board. But I also want to hit you with a wet noodle for not coming sooner to let us know what's going on with the Riverdale train station and closure of the street. So
and you do have my apologies that I guess some wires did get crossed. I know that this closure did come up at Bob's meeting back in January when we were talking about the special at the special committee on the Hudson River Greenway. I mentioned that I'd be happy to come back and talk about this. And I know we did place a call into the office about the fact that this was going to be happening this year, and that we'd be happy to come speak about it whenever the committee would like, around the same time that we called and informed all the elected officials that this was happening. So this is a full street repair. We're going down, replacing what is currently side, just running gutters on 255th Street with actual drainage. So there'll be actual nice drainage there, as well as some work to improve the paving and the drainage in front of the station on Railroad Place. So it happens to be a strange spot where MTA happens to own a couple of streets, as well as the street leading into, because mostly of the street leading into the parking lot, some of the retaining walls and things of that nature there. So we're doing a lot of retaining wall repairs. We're trying to make sure that we're getting some of the drainage fixed and trying to make sure that things aren't draining into the parking lot, which is being done. The first stage of this is actually the 255th Street repair that we're closing down to on the 22nd. It's when this work is scheduled to begin. it's phased in a way to try and minimize impact to the community, try and get as much done. Also over the summer season when what school is not in session and we have least impact to the school that's going on there. We've been coordinating with them. We've been coordinating with DOT. We worked on a plan to make sure that we can have cars passing as well as continue to make sure that the Hudson Link continues to run so that all of our riders can continue to get to the station, as well as do our best to minimize impact to those that drive, both with permits as well as daily rider users of the lot. So we've got a plan that's making sure that we're not cutting out parking to make sure that those people can continue to have access there. So we've kind of have a full plan to try and minimize the impact and get this done as quickly as possible, while also making sure that 255th Street, which right now, well, I've been on unpaved roads that are flatter than it, I think. So making sure that we can do the needed repairs there to make sure that that's a road that's in good condition once again.
Because a lot of people in the community don't feel as if they were told timely, that they were not engaged, and really upset that, you know, on this late notice that, you know, this is being done. So in the future, what are we going to do to communicate better? Because the community board didn't know, you know, there was letters, there's, you know, people receive things in the mail. Some of the homeowners, not all the homeowners that live on that particular street. So I don't know where the gap.
There, on the actual street where there is work being done, there's two homes. Only one has access to the home from that street, and that homeowner we've actually had many conversations with in the years leading up to this, as well as the homeowner on the other side where their property, they actually encroach onto our property a bit, and we've had some back and forth there as well. So this is an exit way from the train station. So this is primarily an exit from the train station. So this isn't actually affecting people who live on the block as much as it's the redirection of traffic to the two-way on 254th. And we did make sure when we were notifying, we actually went out about a block past where the actual street is, so people know just about the traffic patterns. We're not really one that does repavings very often. We don't own the roads. Typically, under most of our agreements and most of our licenses, actually, it's the municipality in New York City that would have to do it. This happens to be an outlier when it comes to road work, that we're actually doing road work. So it's not something that we're as used to. I think we're much better at communicating changes when it comes to station work and track work than we are, and resiliency work than we are anything having to do with road work. I think that's just the nature of how we're built, especially over at Metro North, where this is actually the only road that I know of that we've ever rebuilt. So I do think that probably is part of the short gap there, and I apologize for that. So I do think that that's part of how we fix it, is that knowing that it's not something that we're necessarily going to be doing a lot. It's more that we'd be more with the transportation committee here, or on station work that would be upcoming, or things of that nature. Just as an apology there. So again, we'd be more focused on the station work aspect there. So I do apologize for that. And again, those that are directly on the street where there is work ongoing, we have been in touch with for 2-3 years leading up to this project as it's gone through design. But for those that are not on the street, we have not actively been engaging how to them as much as far out. And again, on the 254th even, there's I believe only 4 homes there where the street is going to be two-way instead of one-way for a period of time.
Yeah, I do have a question. So the change on 254th Street is just one block between Palisade Avenue and Railroad Terrace.
or
Correct.
one way, just going down to the station. But that's now going to be the exit while 254th is closed, so it's going to have to be two-way. between
Correct.
Railroad Terrace. Now, do you, how does it work between you and DOT as far as, you know, who's responsible for, you know, making sure the markings are clear, that it's clear that, you know, that this is now a two-way street for that one block? Is that you? Is that DOT? Who does that?
It's us in consultation with DOT. There's been a plan that's been reviewed and mocked up with DOT. Our contractor will be the one who is putting everything in place to make sure that it's now two-way. There's a temporary lining that we put in place. There's actually temporary road plates that are going to be put in place to make sure that the road's even wider, covering up the drainage ditch that's on 254th right now, to make it so we have extra, it gives us an extra, I think about 6 or 8 feet of driving width by creating that. In consultation with DOT, the sidewalk is going to remain on the north side of the street, and it's going to be protected by Jersey barriers, and some of that early work is going to be starting. It's actually what really gets going next week.
So you're going to cover those stormwater drainage openings at the foot of 254th Street?
On the south side of 254th Street.
Yeah, no, I know exactly where it is.
Yeah, so that where actually even though it's a no parking zone, a lot of people end up parking in that drainage ditch. We're going to make sure also with the MTAPD and the contractor that we're going to be very much enforcing the no parking there. So that is going to be covered. So it's not temporarily, but it's still going to allow for drainage underneath. It's going to be a top level cover. So it's basically a bridged over using.
Exactly. That's the issue I'm getting at, because those drainage ditches, that drainage ditch was installed some years ago because west of 54th Street, you know, is an enormous hill. It all runs right down to the railroad. And before they put that in, there was flooding onto the tracks because the water would just go right over onto the tracks.
It's still going to drain underneath.
Okay.
There's still going to be the drainage ditch. There's still going to be way for in between. There's still going to be drainage that comes into that ditch. We're not worried about that of the stormwater for that part. So it's still going to be functioning as a drainage ditch. It's just going to be also, there's going to be basically a covering over it to allow for cars to drive on as well.
Yeah, okay. I mean, the only people who'd be affected would be the railroad. So I'm sure you guys are well motivated to make sure this works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we explored a lot of different options there because 254th Street is due for a major renovation, actually in the extent of kind of what we're doing next year.
We're aware of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Margaret, anything? No. Sylvia, do you have any questions for MTA?
No, I don't.
Metro North? Okay. Anybody on Zoom? Community? Anybody from the community? Steve Matthews, do you have a question? You're a board member?
You want that one?
No, thanks, Deb.
Hi, Steve. No? You said no? Okay, all right. There's no hands up. With that being said, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Apologies again for the gap in follow up on making sure that we got here earlier, but I just want to say we're excited to give you guys a better road.
All right.
Thanks a lot. I'll be seeing you in the fall about the Greenway.
Yes, looking forward to it.
All right, okay, take care. You're welcome to stay and you're welcome to leave. Okay, have a good night. All right, now that I've jumped all around, okay.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yes, good night.
All right, so let's go to item 7 on the agenda, old business. Just go straight to
Oh, item 8 is old business.
It's old business,
Yeah.
yeah. So her numbers is a little off, but that's no problem. Okay, DOT response to mitigate Snake Hill concerns. So DOT said they're gonna study it. They're gonna evaluate the streets, see exactly who may actually own it, may not necessarily be streets for the different areas that they're talking about on Snake Hill concerns. So DOT said they're gonna get back to us. They're gonna look at it, study it, and then they're gonna get back to us. And they're going to be meeting with the 2 schools that are involved with the issues with the buses, school buses, double parking and cars and so on and so forth. And to study that now, school is over, so you're not gonna see what people were experiencing through the school year. Yes.
One thing I forgot to mention, old business, we should have a response from MTA next Tuesday, as a following up on the conversation on the Broadway corridor. So I can send that letter to you, we can include it in the minutes.
Okay, for the screen, yeah,
Mhm.
okay, so that's, hey, that's
We'll
done.
see.
We'll see. All right, so land use committee is requesting DOT to study adding a no parking sign along West 252nd Street from Sycamore Avenue to Henry Hudson Parkway, a service road. And we did send a request to DOT to take a look at that.
Yeah,
And
this is me.
And Ms. Cruz said that, you know, she will get back to the board office with possibly doing that. And see if they can make that work.
Actually, can you elaborate? I'm here for this. I am the one who sent the email.
Oh, perfect, and state your name?
My name is Joe Ben Meir. First name Joe, last name Ben Meir, BEN-MEIR. The street is really in a very bad shape. It hasn't been paved in decades. There are huge potholes, and from time to time they fill them up. But even after that, they are so old and so deep that the second filling still falls down. And so it is not. There have been many repavements in parallel streets, you know, going east-west. For some reason, this particular section wasn't included. My question is, and the question of many others on the block, when can we get repavement? This hasn't been repaved in decades, literally. I lived there 25 years, and it hasn't been repaved in 25 years.
Well,
And much more, it's probably even longer than that.
Is it, you talking about Snake Hill, or you talking, because what I was talking about was a no parking signs along West 252nd Street from Sycamore Avenue to Henry Hudson Parkway.
Now, I'm talking about repavement of 236th Street.
Okay, so that's different.
Oh,
Not Sycamore.
Okay, so you're talking about 236th Street and where?
And Netherland Avenue. It is a street, small section of the street that is in a very bad shape. It shouldn't cost too much money.
Have you called 311?
Yes, we did.
And you have
yeah.
an item? Okay,
Yeah.
can you did you
Farah
send it to them?
knows about it.
Okay,
And I think she called them up, but they came only to do more patches. The street is in really bad shape. And I think they told her or somebody else that the budget for this year is over for this area. So they have to wait for next year. But it's really not a big street. It is a very small section between the service road and 236th Street. My question is, are you able to expedite it?
with the district manager, I wish I could, but we don't have that ability to do that. DOT has a budget, an expense budget, capital budget. So, you know, the only way to help with the pavement, if you still feel that it's not safe, is to call 311
We did.
again
We did.
and to get another, and we can go from there. But we don't have that ability to be able to say, you need to pave the road or resurface the road.
Somebody came to see it, I think. Farmer said that somebody was supposed from DOT and DEP, Environmental Protection, they were supposed to come and inspect. And I think they did see that the street is in a bad shape, and they did some patches. So my question is, what can be done beyond the patches? Can you ask the DOT to do another work or to expedite it, or what can you do to help?
The only thing we can do is the same thing you did, is we can reach out to DOT, but we don't have the ability to say to them, you have to resurface the road and repave it. They can do patchwork.
But you can,
There's no way to expedite it.
yeah, you cannot tell them you're not the boss.
Yeah,
Can you do that?
no, we don't have the ability to do that.
No, I'm saying to request to expedite.
No, we don't have the ability to do that.
So
We don't
how
have
do
that
we
type of authority.
What?
We don't have that type of authority.
They have to schedule I think they close it in like March for the
Following
for
year.
the upcoming year. So they've already told us like in March, the schedule that they were going to pave in this district for the whole summer. So that's already done and dusted. And then I think they were taking some recommendations for next year, but that timeline has closed out already. So like she said, continue to report it to 311.
So it is already on schedule for next year?
No, we didn't
They
say that.
have a schedule. They have a schedule for next year.
So is our street section on schedule for,
They haven't released what the schedule is yet.
when would you know?
I think this year they gave us the schedule for this summer, like in February or March. So February or March of 2027.
So we are likely to get repavement then?
I don't know that this street will be on that list, but that's typically when they share it with us.
Can I make a suggestion to you? Contact the councilman's office, okay? Your councilman is
Yeah,
Eric
it's-
Finowitz, right?
Yeah,
Contact his office. Tell them, and it would help if it's not just you, but it's a whole group of your neighbors. It's several people, not just one or two. Contact the councilman's office, tell them, what you just said to us, that you think the street is in terrible condition, it's getting patched, but that's inadequate. And you would like somebody, you would like someone from his office to come out so you can show them what the problem is. That's the only thing I could suggest other than what's already been suggested to you.
yeah, I can do that, but I think they already saw it for themselves, somebody from the DOT. So you didn't get any feedback since then?
No, we don't have it. No.
Okay, I'll follow up with the councilman with Joe,
Yeah.
so whatever.
Mhm.
The second thing is there is a street small section, I sent also an email of this, on between Broadway and Godwin Street, when we approach the intersection. It's really very bad shape every day with the traffic. That street section between, I think it's called Kimberly Place. If it is possible to make it two-way, some cars can exit. They're waiting to go. There is congestions and honking, and even there was one accident I saw. So, is it possible to change the direction of that Kimberly Street from one way going into Broadway to make it two-way street? It's not a small street, and it's not going to affect the residents, but it will people who don't have to wait until the next intersection to make a right there to exit Broadway.
We make no guarantees. We can have a correspondence sent to DOT and they will study to see if it's feasible.
I sent an email about this. Do you know if you received it?
I receive a lot of emails. So I'm glad you're here in person. I've written it down, so we'll add it to send a note to DOT, an email to see if they can do a traffic study and see if that's possible, if it's feasible.
Can I give you the date of the email? Maybe you can look at it if you get.
Well, I can't do it right now.
No, just to give you the date.
Okay,
We did get it, I remember,
okay,
we did get it,
You saw that?
okay.
yes.
You saw that?
I saw that you sent an email to the board office. Yes. Mhm.
So if you can do something that is really making it life easier, let's say, it's not gonna affect the other people. This small street section and people can get earlier to say, so to ease the congestion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
There's
so
a
much.
gentleman, Mr. Stern, sorry, you got.
Yes, hi. Hi, thank you very much, and thank you for taking this up. I'm responding about the request for a parking study for 252nd Street between Sycamore and the highway. So I live on the corner of Arlington and 252nd. And I just wanted to uh, appreciate and thank you for your support in asking for this traffic study. I think it's pretty desperately needed for that section of 252nd Street. And I would ask a couple things. One, also to please include in that study Arlington Avenue between 252nd and 254th Street.
Arlington Avenue and 252nd.
Between 252nd and 254th. That's an unusual street that varies in width quite significantly at certain points. There are trees that bump the road in. And right now there's two-sided parking. There are no restrictions on either 252nd or Arlington. And that road on Arlington, no one parks on 252nd now. Nobody, ever. We've lived here for almost 12 years. I've rarely seen a car parked. There's a house that's called the Kennedy House. I don't know why it's called that, right above Independence and 252nd. That house has been having some social events recently where there's been parking, and it significantly restricts the flow of traffic on that street, such that I don't think fire trucks would be able to get through. If people are parked on both sides of the street, it would be impossible. But right now, there are no restrictions on 252nd Street at all, and none on Arlington Avenue. And Arlington Avenue, again, because the width varies, it can, be as little as 10 feet or 8 feet between cars that are parked on both sides of Arlington Avenue. There's a big school not far from there. Kids are walking home all the time. There are no sidewalks. And last, there's a new religious institution that's going to be opening up on the corner of Arlington and 252nd Street, a synagogue that's going to be going in there with a capacity of, I think, of 150 people. They'll be having morning services, cars will be coming and parking. Around the time people are going down to the train station, coming up from, down the hill up to get to the highway. And our concern is if there's no restrictions on parking on 252nd or Arlington, it's going to be just a safety hazard and a major traffic headache. So those are the considerations we were hoping this study would take into consideration, both on 252nd and on Arlington.
Okay. Right, we'll add it to the request.
Could I say something? The issue of the synagogue on 252nd and Arlington
Yes.
has been discussed for the past couple of months at the Land Use Committee.
Yes.
And the question of parking has come up there as well. We've been told that there's not going to be any excessive parking on the streets. And there's a whole issue going on involving Arlington Avenue and flooding on that street.
Yes.
And so on. So I would just suggest to you, I guess the Land Use Committee is finished until September. But you might want to go on YouTube and look at.
Oh, I've been at each of those meetings.
Okay.
Yeah, but here's the issue. If they're building a synagogue with a capacity for 150, they're planning on having morning and afternoon services, and people are going to be parking and needing to park. And people are going to come for, services on Friday night and leave their cars overnight. And if they're going to be doing that on 252nd Street, where there are no restrictions right now, that's going to be a safety hazard. And so if there's an ability to put some restrictions on Arlington and 252nd, it'll allow people to park as they should in a way that's going to be safe for the community around.
Okay. All right. By the way, it's called the Kennedy House because it once was occupied.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, you should try and drive through there on the nights when they're having their social events now. It's difficult. It's a two-way street with cars parked on both sides. It's impossible for two ways. So
No, I'm familiar with it.
yeah, I'm sure. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Stern. Thank you. And we will communicate that to DOT.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Is there anybody else from the community? Hand up? No? All right, let's move. Okay. Next on our agenda, we have a letter talking about a project bus pad contract.
Mhm.
You have a copy of this? So, they're just alerting us that, a letter of introduction that, there are bus pads that are deteriorating.
Mhm.
And they are looking to install new ones.
Mhm.
And that's it. The exact locations, I can't really tell from the map, but it looks like there's a total of 1, 2, 3 sites. But there's no attachment. I guess it is. There we go. Sites 1 and 2 looks like it's Riverdale Avenue and 261st Street
Mhm.
going across. And then it looks like the third site is Broadway and 260. It could be 261, it could be 262. Because they don't really specify. Can you tell? I can't really tell. But it's 261st and Riverdale on both sides, and then 260 Broadway and 261st. But it's only one pad, because it's on the map, it says there's a total of 3.
Yes,
Can
between
you tell?
261st and 262nd on Broadway.
Right. See, this is what I find confusing, because
It's confusing.
when you look at the two maps, they
Uh-huh.
seem to show both sides of both streets,
Correct.
Riverdale Avenue and Broadway. And yet they're saying there are 2 on Riverdale Avenue and 1 on Broadway. So I'm trying to figure out, is it the northbound side on Broadway?
Correct.
Or is it southbound side on Broadway? Or is it both?
No, they're saying it's only one pad, though.
They are, but which one is it?
I don't know.
I would
Yeah.
assume it's the southbound, right?
We're assuming.
Because otherwise,
It,
that's where the
but there's,
Bronx
that's,
terminates.
that's where the bus turns,
Mhm.
right there. And there's on the northbound side, the final stop is right around 262nd, and then the bus turns. Yeah, so I get, but I mean, it does stop. But okay, let's assume for the moment that it's the southbound side. Yeah,
But this is not really clear.
no, it could be clearer, absolutely.
But yeah, this is clear as mud. So,
But do we have anybody here to
no, there
speak on the issue?
isn't. They just literally, we received this letter on the 15th. Today's the 18th. There was a lot of last minute.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's anybody from Department of Design and Construction.
Oh, do they do it? Oh, yeah, I did. EDC, I see that. Somehow I thought it was MTA.
Maybe they're gonna do something else at 261st after Deborah Harris.
Well, that's another whole issue.
That's what I'm not.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gonna put a light there. And that's why they're doing this bus pad. Maybe.
It's a lot of guests.
Yeah.
To be continued.
Yeah.
But here's my question. Where's the bus stopping while they replace the bus pad? What happens to the bus stop? That's what I want to know. I mean, because this is the end of the line,
See how exciting this is?
northbound, and at the beginning of the line, southbound.
It's more questions than interesting.
I mean, it's good that they told us they're going to do this, but now we need to answer some questions.
Well, they'll post signs for people to be able to even.
Yeah, but I think the people in the area want to know, well, does this mean, I have to walk down to 60th Street? Is that where my bus stop's going to be now? And same thing on Riverdale Avenue, where's the bus stop going to be?
And a lot of them are the long buses. They're very long.
Well, these are also express bus stops as well as being local bus stops.
So we can request a little more information.
Yeah,
But they're gonna be coordinating, hopefully with MTA, with the bus stop, so.
I love your optimism.
But that's been the challenge with, with a lot of things, it's the coordination between city agencies, people talking to each other. And not the excuse that, we have a contractor doing
Yeah,
the pen and the ink is a different contractor and the person that clicks it is another contractor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can see where, DDC does construction work, but this
They have
is
to
going to
coordinate with
affect the bus stops, and
Correct.
that's MTA.
MTA. So we have more questions. So we could send them a note specifically,
Mm-hmm.
be more specific on location. Okay.
Mhm.
Right, I think we got through everything.
Almost.
What's missing?
Discussion, screen report regarding MTA, DOT issues on Broadway.
We had it already. We're waiting.
That was it?
That was it.
We're waiting. for
We're still
information?
waiting. We're
Okay.
still waiting.
All right.
Waiting for them to follow up with us.
Uh-huh.
They
And-
said they would get us a response before the final board meeting of the year,
Okay.
Mhm.
meaning the 23rd. I know
And,
later.
and who is they? Is it
MTA,
DOT?
MTA.
MTA?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we had a conversation with MTA, DOT,
On June.
yeah, June 2nd. Also with all three of our council members and their staff. And so basically we reiterated our concerns about the corridor, the lack of safety measures. As community members who are not trained in this, that it just felt as though there are a lot of gaps in terms of compliance and things like that, that MTA should have for safety purposes along the corridor in heavily trafficked areas. So we wanted to bring everyone together because we weren't getting a response, like Jackie already described, we weren't getting a response from anyone. Nothing was changing along the corridor. It was getting messier and crazier and more chaotic. MTA came in and presented on what they have done,
Mhm.
which, we all kind of felt that some kind of way about.
It didn't align with what was reality.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but, we did a site visit a few days later and there were significant improvements,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah, so
Barriers.
before, right,
et cetera,
and the Broadway
Things look-
Bridge, apparently they made some improvements.
more orderly. It was not haphazard. There still were some heavy machinery that is just on the sidewalk without barriers or along the road or whatever. We took additional pictures and shared that with them. And they said that they would look more thoroughly at the
Mhm.
corridor and come back to us by the 23rd. We listed a letter with our most significant concerns and they said they would come back to us.
So it just goes back to what I'm saying, you still have to keep plugging along,
Oh, yeah.
pedal to the metal, and if there's an expectation that we're waiting for them to figure it out, that's no way. The only way to really engage these agencies is by resolution and letters and more
Mhm.
letters and more resolutions, because that's the only way to keep accountability. And I've been grateful to see the process work. The process is frustrating, but the process does work.
Okay.
And
Good.
I think that's it. I think we're ready to meeting adjourn.
I'll make
Any questions from anybody on the phone, community at all? That didn't have an opportunity to speak? Oh, with that being said, meeting is adjourned.
Hooray!
Very good.
Thank you all.
Good night, Debbie.
Good night.